Live?
We're live.
We live?
We
No, we
are
ain't.
live.
Oh man, guess what? Big game, James. I'm back. You see the nice little studio, right? You see the nice little studio, and guess what I got here? Guess who I got back here? I bet you never believed it. I mean, this is the originator. I mean, we originate a lot of this stuff out here in these streets, but the originator, the greater, the guy, the man. Bet you never thought this would happen, but y'all remember Tribe Called Quest? Remember when they broke up and they came back and made that great album? Bam! Producer G. What's up, my dog?
Had to come out of retirement. Come back, was getting the itch. It's been a while. I feel a little rusty, but we're back, and we're here to talk Cowboys, and I'm ready to get back with the Cowboys.
Yeah, see, he ready to get back with them Cowboys.
Really, it was you I wanted to get
Yeah, he want to get back with me. He don't want to get back with them Cowboys
really
because it's
did.
Cowboys.
It
It's
really
Cowboys
wasn't about you,
Uncensored.
to be honest. I'm serious.
But you know what? He came back to Ohio because he was in Cali, going back to Cali. Cali was in his Cali doing his thing, but he came back in Ohio, started a nice little family, hit me up and said, hey, dog, I'm getting the itch. It's time to do it. And now we're here. And now we're about to do Cowboys Uncensored. So make sure you start tuning in. I don't know if we're going to do it every Wednesday or Thursday, but we're going to have that locked down and you'll know ahead of time. But you just make sure you start tuning in for this weekly because you're going to get Cowboys Uncensored, where it's just going to be whatever, off the hinges. I'm going to say whatever I want. And if you like it, stay here. If you don't want to hear that truth sometimes, you probably don't want to be here because you know how I am.
Look, I already done messed up, done had it on the wrong graphic to start the show. I know it's rusty. Takes a minute to get back into it. But, this is the new show, Cowboys Uncensored. And today we're talking Cowboys-Packers, the tie game. We're going to get into the defense. We're going to get into the offense, see what might happen with some trades. We're going to talk about the Jets game coming up Sunday. So we'll start with the Cowboys and the Packers just to get right into it here. It's the first Cowboys tie since 1969 versus the 49ers, and the second highest tie of all time in NFL history, back from 1964, before there was even overtimes. I guess that just starts off the question, what do you think about the game?
Well, I knew this was going to happen. Shout out to everybody. Come on in. Keep on coming in. I knew this was going to happen because I said on my Twitter, I said when they played the Bears, Dallas always plays terrible against struggling teams, and that's why they beat Dallas. And then when everybody says they're going to get blown out, everybody predicts the team is going to smash them. Oh, they're going to have a career day against Dallas. Dallas plays out of their mind and plays every bit is different. So I knew Dallas was going to play very well in this game, G. And I actually thought I called the upset. I said they were going to upset them, and they really should have won this game. The defense, which we're going to talk about, gave it up because if the defense just made a couple plays, they would have won this game, period.
Yep. So that's kind of just been the issue so far on the season. Obviously, is the defense has really been struggling. So I guess we'll hop into that. And I guess everyone wants to know if Eberflus is the guy. Is he going to get fired midseason in year one?
Nope.
I don't know, but that might be a question that's out there. I did see something with Trayvon Diggs where Diggs is playing zone and he's more comfortable playing man, and Eberflus just, I guess, maybe didn't listen to him. So we should jump into that. And what do you think's going on with the defense? What do they need to do to improve going forward? Because right now they got to put up 40 points on offense to win a game.
I mean, Eberflus, this is the problem. I mean, he came from the Marinelli tree, right? I used to like Marinelli, but I would always be frustrated with Marinelli. Why? Because he played that zone all the damn time, and he would never blitz, right? I like blitzing. That's why I like Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn did blitz. Now, sometimes he would have these odd fronts that would frustrate me with Dan Quinn, but I like Dan Quinn for the fact that he always attacked. He was always sending guys for blitzes. He was always trying to create turnovers. He was always trying to get that. With Eberflus and even with the Marinelli kind of tree, it's like they conservative, dog. They go in that zone. When I think it was Matthew Golden, it was like the 3rd and 6. We had him. We're like, okay, just get him on this. You go into a little soft zone. Why? It's just like when you get a lead and you playing in the zone, that's terrible. So I don't like it because y'all always go with somebody comfortable. This is what I said, G. As soon as Eberflus got fired in Chicago, I said he's getting hired in Dallas. I knew it. He was coming here. Why? Because he was comfortable. And we were going to give Eberflus the job before Marinelli took over, before he went to Indianapolis. You feel me? So it was just easy for them. He says, well, I'm going to simplify it. Maybe if you just simplify it, yes. But maybe you just don't have the players, too. Donovan Wilson, just not that guy. Malik Hooker, average. I said they are average to below average defense. So when you're playing more zone concepts, G, and you have a defense that's average to below average, because if you go player by player, this is an average defense. So if you're playing a conservative type defense, it's going to get exploited by those teams, and they know it. Case in point, Jack Sanborn. He came over from Chicago, but they had some guys named Tremaine Edmonds, and they had a guy named Roquan Smith over there. So they had some guys, right? So it could cover Sanborn. Well, Sanborn's the guy here, right? So all his imperfections, now they're exposed because you have to be the man here. And that is the issue. You bank too much up on them guys. You really didn't upgrade it like you're supposed to. So now you have below average players where a guy has a conservative system and it's backfiring.
Yeah. Do you think that Overshown coming back can be effective? Obviously, he will be effective, but do you think it's more, you think better players could improve things for sure? I mean, obviously, better players would improve, but
yeah.
do you think that's the issue? The players just aren't good enough that are on the team. That's the main problem.
Yeah, I think if you look at our defense, okay, like I said, go to Donovan Wilson. If you would have cut him, would Donovan Wilson be making waves on any other team? No. Would Malik Hooker? No. And then you have, let's go at our corners. Trevin Diggs, I would say he used to be elite early, right? But I'm not going to say Trevin Diggs is elite right now. He's good. I like Deron Bland, but, he's not one of the top corners in the league, right? And he's had injury issues the last couple seasons. You look at our guys behind him. You mentioned Kalen Carson. He's your 5th-round draft pick. He's just now getting on the field. Sharon Revel, who you drafted, you haven't even seen him. You get what I'm saying? So you don't have guys. And then Sanborn, below average. Kenneth Murray, you don't know what you're going to get out of him, right? Damone Clark, below average. Maris, we like him, but he's just now getting on the field. And then when you look at the defensive front, Sam Williams, okay, we like his athletic ability, but he's been inconsistent his whole career in Dallas. Marshawn Nealon, okay, I like him, but he's a Marcus Lawrence clone, so he's not really going to – he's going to be great in the run game, but he's not really going to get you sacks. We love Clenny Clark, Osa, but if you look out across the board, it's average to below average, and he has to work with that. And he's playing a conservative system, maybe to protect them, or you're leaning a little too much on Sanborn. You need to play that Shamar James. You need to figure that out, because guess what? When they play them Jets, Justin Fields is going to be licking his chops against that linebacking core.
Yeah, that's when we get into the Jets. We'll definitely talk about what the defense needs to do in that one, but just a little bit more on the defense. Ranking dead last in almost every category right now, looking at defensive yards, last 420 yards a game. Passing defense, last almost 300 yards a game there. Rushing defense, right in the middle at 20. So that's probably something they're hanging their hat on. I heard Eberflus talking about how the run defense has improved.
It has.
Scoring defense, second to last, only behind the Ravens, who
Mm-hmm.
have had a really bad defensive season. So, yeah, as you see there, just dead last on almost everything. Third down conversions is another big one. Dead last, 58% right there. So,
Oh, that's terrible.
So, yeah, this is definitely the worst defense in the league, probably one of the worst in franchise history if it continues on this trajectory. I mean,
That's
like
a broken record.
You got to score 35 to 40 points to win a game is what it feels like.
Well, like I said, everybody's bringing up 2020, right? Remember with Mike Nolan, how terrible that defense is, and they're trying to compare it. Well, I remember Monty Kiffin, too. Monty Kiffin had one of the worst defenses ever in Dallas Cowboys history. So it's not like these other coaches haven't seen this before. My thing is, I don't really know what you're going to do with this because, like I said, you're going to have us listen to a clip from Jerry Jones, and maybe you do need to get saucy with something and save the season because when you look at it, I don't know where you're competing against these top teams with that defense. You're not going to win shootouts every time. Your offense is not going to be on point week to week, right? Let's look at case in point, G. Cleveland Browns. They don't got a quarterback. They don't got an offense. But yet they're staying in every single game. You know why, G? They got a defense. And because they got a defense, it keeps them in every single game. Your offense is not going to hit on all cylinders every single game. That's why you need that defense to carry you. You feel me? It will carry you through all the good and the bad. So I don't know where you're going to really elevate from this, because who are you bringing in, right? Who's the guys that are the backups that are going to make you feel good? We just talked about Kalen Carson. He just practiced. But what did he do last year? He got cooked up, got injured, and was sitting. I like him because he's a body, but he's not somebody you feel like, oh, this is a guy that we can really depend on. You don't really have any veterans that you can feel like you can really lean your hat on. And because of that, these other guys are getting exposed. And when these other teams see it, they're going to use those matchups against them, and they're going to expose them. They're going to, man, and when they see these linebackers, let's get our running backs in space against them. Because guess what? We can make plays. That screen game, those type of games. So it's just like you put all the pressure on Dak and the offense once again, G. And Dak can't be Superman every single game. And he's playing out his mind right now.
Yeah, that was a great segue right into the offense.
You like that? Did you like that?
That was good. Ranking last on defense, dead last, and then to number one on offense. Yeah, that's a pretty big swing right there. Last on defense, first on offense. Dak obviously playing probably the best ball of his career right now. You finally got a solid running back, and then you got Pickens. So a lot changed there on the offense, and then the new offensive lineman as well, and then there's injuries too. So what do you think about the offense ranking number one? Yeah, putting up, a good chunk of points a game themselves too, and they're going to have to do that to win games.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. We were talking about this before we went live, G. Dak was playing ball in 2023, right? He was balling in 2023. But in my opinion, my humble opinion, and I ain't saying this just to say it, this is the first year that I ain't thinking about Dak Prescott. So that tells me, yeah, he playing real football. Because every year even when he was balling out 23, I used to always, but is Dak going to do it? Is he going to make the play? Is this going to happen? But, bro, when I've been watching him, I'm like, what? I can't explain it. It's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, G. You know, like I know, when you just see a football player and you're like, okay, he got it. Okay, I think he's finally got it now. Now we need to see the playoffs if that happens. We need to see that because that's the question mark over your head. But when I'm watching him, like, okay, this is the first time I ain't even thinking about you. You're playing good football. And you got a run game. Was it Javonte Williams? He said, I'm fully back now, and the reason why I wasn't running good was because I was hurt. I'm fully healthy. And, man, has he been a revelation. That man's running like a Mack truck. That man, he's running the ball like we want, right? He is running the football. And your offensive line, I think, is going to be one of the best offensive lines in football within the next couple of years, G. I said that because you got the young nucleus. And kudos to Cowboys front office, at least on the offensive side of the offensive line, because you had a Brock Hoffman, T.J. Bass come right in like they didn't miss a beat. That's kudos to them. And then you possibly got Guyton might be out. You got Tyler Smith dealing with tendonitis in his knee. That might be a problem all year. So that might be something. But when you look at the way Dak is playing, you got a run game. You had CeeDee Lamb, who's going to be back being a dog. But the George Pickens thing, that's the key. Because if you had CeeDee Lamb going out the game in Chicago and you didn't have a George Pickens, season would have been over. Right? We would have been saying the season's over. Because you got Jalen Tolbert, you would have had Kevontae Turpin, Mingo, whoever. You wouldn't have had anybody. George Pickens is really, I'll give you Cowboys, that was your shut up signing. You shut us up. George Pickens is the truth. So the offense is banging, and I can't wait till CD comes back. Oh, man, how come we can't ever have two things in 1 year? Why can't you have the defense and the offense good one time? It just never happens. You know why? We're cursed.
I know. That's what I said to you the other day. I said they never work good in the same season together. Never seems to happen that way. But the Lamb injury, this could be good for. I mean, obviously you don't want to lose Lamb, but the experience and the chemistry is allowing him to build here with Dak Prescott is big and crucial over what he has to miss at least 4 games, right, from going on IR.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be huge for the chemistry between Dak and Pickens. Pickens with that last game, that was one of his career best games for sure right there. And, other guys on the team aren't doing that. Jalen Tolbert, he's had his chances. He would love to see a game with those kind of numbers. And no one's been able to do that. You had Michael Gallup who was able to put up a couple games like that. But Pickens.
No one's scared of Tolbert, though.
Yeah, Pickens has proven he could be that number one. It's going to be interesting for him because he's going to be in a contract situation. And here we go again, right, with Jerry Jones with the contract. So we'll see how this one works out. And he's on pace right now to set career highs in every category. He would end the season right now. He's on pace for about 95 catches, 1,500 yards, and 17 touchdowns. That's the pace he's on right now.
He ain't going to get that, but guess what?
That's the pace, though. That's the level he's playing at.
But you know what, though? You know what the Jones are going to say? Well, we wanted him. We gave him an offer, and he going to look at that offer because you're going to lowball him. He's going to look at that offer and be like, nope, that's why I said, and I know people are going to be like, well, you didn't know. That's why I said when you traded for him, you should have already been negotiating that contract like you did Metcalf. DK Metcalf got traded from the Seahawks, went to the Steelers, and what happened? He got his contract instantly. So you don't got to deal with no stuff, nothing on the off, nothing. Why aren't you signing George Pickens and having him and CeeDee Lamb for at least the next 3 to 4 years? Why aren't you doing that? You got the money. Bump that. Hey, we traded for you. We want you here. I don't care what they saying out there. We got you. We're going to take care of you. We want you to be great. When a player hears that, and you see George Pickens, he ain't even got the contract, and he's been on his best behavior. He wants to get that money. That's the thing with Dallas. It's like they play the game. Well, let's go ahead and wait. You prove it. Yeah, you prove it. And then you get, let's say he got some numbers close to that. Yeah, you prove it. You think other teams ain't going to want George Pickens either? Producer Jake. You think he ain't going to, you think the other teams going to be like, oh, you went over there and we're going to give you big money. Yep. We're going to offer you more money than Dallas.
Get him cheaper right now.
You think he's going to stay in Dallas? No, he's not. He's going to say, hey, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for everything you did, but I'm going to go over here and get my $32 million.
Yeah, I was going to say this is kind of like I think a lot of people look at this as a prove-it type year, prove-it deal.
What does he got to prove?
I don't know what
Nothing
it is,
he got to prove.
It just feels like,
yeah, because they're worried about the offseason.
Yeah, the behavioral thing.
Why would somebody – let me ask you this, G. If you came from a team and everybody's dogging you about that, right, and you come to a team and you're trying to get paid, you're trying to get a big contract, are you really going to do something stupid going to a new team when everybody's already got the eyes on you to see if you mess up? No, I'm being on my best behavior because I want that contract and I want that money. So that don't even make sense. He's going to be on his best behavior. That's why you should have traded him and signed him, because every time he gets another 8-catch, 100-yard, two touchdown game, that price is going up.
I was thinking also about just more about the offense, and like Ferguson seems to also be playing some of his best ball. I know he's not.
I want to ask you about Ferguson.
Big plays.
I want to ask you.
Yep.
I'm not hating on Fergie. You got your money. I'm not mad at you. But gee, I'm asking you this: is Ferguson really a threat to you?
I think he's more like maybe kind of an extension of a run game a little bit with the short passes, but he can still hit you down the field a little bit.
Hey, Jason Witten part 2.
Last year he was more of a red zone threat, or maybe it was the year before that, but the playoff game where they beat Green Bay, he had scored 3 touchdowns in that game. So I just think that the tight end quality around the league is not great. So as far as pass catchers go, there's like a couple that are really good, and then it kind of drops off from there, just from playing fantasy.
We need some speed at tight end.
Yeah, you could get another one, but
they don't want to.
Yeah, but no.
See, I told you they love that background, G. I'm looking at the comments.
I like Ferguson.
They like that background, dog. I like that background. That's producer G. He got a spicy.
Hey, we're just getting back started here. Like I said, I'm rusty. There definitely was nerves and all this stuff going today, different emotions. So I haven't done this in a while. And I'm excited to try to get back into it. It feels good. It feels natural. It feels like what I should have been doing, but, things happen in life. And, it's been a journey the last few years here, but I feel like you're never too old to do this, so I'm back. I'm still young, so I could do this for a long time still. But yeah, I feel like we've got talent here between you and me, so why should we waste that?
Let's do it.
But yeah, so a little bit more on the offense. We're talking about Ferguson. You're right. He's a wit, and he's not going to threaten you much down the field, but he does have good, solid hands. I like his attitude. He's got that feistiness to him. I like that. I feel like you'd need some guys like that, but yeah, I know you'd want another playmaker, but just don't feel like there's a lot of those around the league. They're kind of rare, like that Brock Bowers for the Raiders. That's very rare to get a guy like that. As a rookie, led all tight ends in receiving yards. So, I just wanted to hit on Javonte Williams because I know you talked about him a little bit, but didn't he sign a 1-year deal for $3 million? I think that was what his deal was. So that's just a really great signing right there when you look back at it now. But that kind of leads me to think about the other person we haven't really brought up yet, and that's Jaden Blue.
Yes.
He's getting ready to make his debut. Very excited about that. I know everybody's been wondering, why hasn't he played? I've been thinking, telling my wife, why are they not playing this guy? He could be one of your best weapons on offense. 4th-round pick this year. Was it 4th round? I believe it was.
I think 5th.
4th or 5th round pick this year, yeah. So DeMarco Murray was a later round pick, and Marion Barber and those kind of guys. So running backs hit late. So I'm excited. Maybe this guy, he's the kind of guy that can stretch the field and take it the distance from anywhere on the field. So what do you think about him? Are you excited for him?
Hell yeah, I've been waiting for some Jaden Blue. I've been wondering, I get it, he's a rookie. You don't want to put him in there because, you know what, if you put him in on a 3rd down right, he might be the only back in the backfield. You worry about pass protection. That's a rookie. Can he block? You don't want to get your quarterback killed. We know how Dak has had injuries the last few years, right? So I understand that. If you're not confident with him with the playbook or be able to make those plays, I understand why you would sit him. Miles Sanders has been playing as the backup to Javonte Williams. Sanders hasn't been bad. I'm not going to diss him. He has not been bad, but guess what? He doesn't give the element that the Jaden Blue does. We are wanting to see that element. You already got an explosive offense. Shout out to Shoddy. Shout out to Clayton Adams. And shout out to Riley on that offensive line because guess what? Like I said on my Twitter, G, when I saw Kellen Moore, right, he had top offenses as far as points scored. They were top 5 when Kellen Moore was there. They were top 5. And when Mark McCarthy was there in them 3 seasons when they were 12-4, right, you had offenses that were in the top 10, right? But they weren't exciting. They weren't creative. They looked stale. They looked unimaginative. You just were scoring a lot of points based on talent. But this offense actually looked creative. It actually looks like we can trick you. We actually look like we can fool you, and I like that. It looks like we can get you on plays that I haven't seen in a long time, right? Doesn't it feel like that? I haven't seen that in a while. So when you bring that addition of a Jaden Blue, that's the element. You got that bulldozer in Javonte Williams. You come out and throw a screen pass to Jaden Blue and let him shake 2 people. He going to the house, dog. Let somebody see that 4.3 speed and get him a 70-yard touchdown. He ain't coming out. I bet you won't be DVI activated no more. So Jaden Blue, I know you're probably not watching this show, but if you ever happen to watch or look at this show, please get a long touchdown. You won't ever be inactive again because Jerry and them will be like, Shotty, I don't care what you got to do. That Blue got to play.
Yeah, just even a couple big plays from him. I mean, a touchdown obviously would be real nice, but just a spark on offense would be nice. And then you got Williams and plus him. Like you said, Miles Sanders was solid in there when he did play. I already knew he had fumbling problems before he even came to the team, and that did show itself. And then think about that Javonte Williams fumble, too, against the Bears. If that didn't happen, I bet that game might have went a different way. I don't know how I thought about that. But
think about it, though. It's fluky, and why did it happen? Curse.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I'm going to say it low.
Something like that, yeah.
I'm going to say it low because y'all going to be like, that's low hanging fruit. Okay.
All right, so we feel really good about the offense. We got CD Lamb that's going to come back, and we feel good without him right now. So when you get him back, that's going to be even better. And you feel good about your offensive lineman that you're going to get back. That
better be hurt.
Pick,
Better be hurt early than late.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have these injuries to your Cooper Beebe, to your Tyler Booker, to all your guys, you rather have them in weeks 2, 3, and 4, because when they come back healthy, that's what's going to be hopefully a stretch run, and hopefully you can weather the storm, because when you get those guys back, now you can possibly make that run. Whereas if you were playing really good and they got injured toward the end of the year, that's when your season can crumble.
Yeah, so thinking of the offense and how good it's been, and I think we all feel confident and good about what we have there, and you feel like it might only get better with Lamb coming back. Blue, we'll see what he does. That should only make it better, you would hope and imagine. So, but back to the defense, maybe they can use, some of those draft picks they got from Micah Parsons to help out there. They did get what's the guy from Green Bay?
Kenny Clark.
Kenny Clark. I don't know why his name would slip my mind. But, yeah, Kenny Clark came in. You got that player, but you did acquire draft picks, and Jerry Jones had a little something to say about that. Let's see.
Not only gives us 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years, we not only do that, nothing says we can't use some of those picks right now to go get somebody right now. Don't rule that out.
I'm just going to let you react to that.
Lies. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Jerry, at all. So you can't fool me. And I know what you do. You do that to have people jump on the edge. Oh, we got some pigs, but they really might do something. They really might do something. Keep people tuning in. Keep teasing people because you know how to manipulate the media. Yeah. I don't believe you're going to use any of those first-round picks to get a player. You know why? Because this defense, even though you say, Jerry, it can come back, this defense is not that good. So I really feel like this is going to be a season where I don't know if it's a playoff season. So your picks are precious. And y'all are going to spend money because we see Jeffrey Simmons out there. They say he could be had for a second rounder, possibly a third rounder. You don't have one this year. You have a fourth and a fifth. They say he could be had. Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals. They say he can be had for a second-day pick. And then Max Crosby, who's been out there. I don't know what they're talking about. A late, day 1, day 2. They're not going to do that. And if they do, come holler at me and you can say, you was wrong, Big. They're not going to do it. Period. So I'm not going to get hyped about something like this because this isn't the Eagles. We hate them, but they would make a move like this. You get what I'm saying? They would. There's other teams that would make moves like this. I don't believe the Cowboys will, so I'm not going to get hyped on this.
Yeah, when you think about it, too, and you see trades that happen around the league, it's very rare that you see teams give up a first-round pick anyway for a guy. Micah Parsons, is considered a generational, maybe all-time great type talent, probably a Hall of Famer, all that good stuff. So I think that's the kind of guy you would give up a couple first-round picks for. But you see guys like a George Pickens, what type of impact he has on your team going for third-round picks.
Right.
And it just feels like teams don't give up first-round picks. So I don't even know why you would say that, other than to stir things up, because that's what he loves to do.
That's all it was. It was just to stir people up, just keep people on edge and keep manipulating the media, keep having Cowboys fans like, oh, yeah, we might get somebody. We ain't getting no damn Max Crosby, and we ain't getting no daggone Max Crosby, Trey Henderson. That might be Jeffrey Simmons, no, because people are going to say we got Osa, because if you were to trade for Jeffrey Simmons, who I would love to get Jeffrey Simmons yesterday. But you got Osa, you have Kenny Clark. They're going to say, we're not going to let of our beloved Osa. And this ain't no diss to you, Osa, because I love Osa. But they won't get rid of him, right? Because why? He was our draft pick. We raised him. We're not going to let him go. Look at the Cowboys. I think if you go in the stats, the Cowboys are like top 3 in homegrown players. So they take that deeply. They don't like bringing outside players into the organization, making them like they're the sons. My dog, Boss Cowboys, always says this. They treat the outsiders like bastards. It's the truth. They don't get the love like the picks. Think how long Matt Let's Go was on the roster. Let that sink in.
Yeah. So you don't think that
They're not
will be
doing
making any
anything.
trades?
They're not doing anything. Come back and holler at me if they do. You can come back and say, I told you, Big. That's fine. I don't believe it.
All right. Well, I guess we'll transition off of that. We'll get into. Well, I guess let's jump into the Jets game here.
Mm-hmm.
0-4 winless Jets.
Oh,
One
boy.
of 3 teams that not win a game yet. Brand new head coach. This, like you say, this is one of those games where if they need to get right, they play the Cowboys. How do they stop Justin Fields? And do you think the offense will keep playing as good as they've been against the middle of the pack Jets defense?
Okay, Cowboys offense. I know you had the hiccup against the Bears, right? Score 14 points after they just gave up 51 the week before against Detroit, right? Please, Cowboys offense. Gee, I'm begging them. Don't let this be the week where you don't want to bring your offense. Please, because these Jets are chomping at the bit. Me and you were just talking about this, G. They're 0-4. Somebody sent me a stat saying no Jets coach has started 0-5. So you know the pressure that's on Aaron Glenn, right? And guess what? Aaron Glenn is telling the Jets team, we can beat the Dallas Cowboys. We just need to play good, solid football, which they haven't been doing. But I bet you he's telling them, we ain't scared of the Cowboys. We can beat them. So I said this game is giving me 2019 vibes, right? I don't think the Jets had won that game in the 2019 game. And Sam Darnold, I believe, was seeing ghosts the week before. He was seeing ghosts the week before. And now he came against Dallas, and he threw a 90-yard pass to a dude named, I think, Roddy Anderson. And once he threw that pass, I knew we were losing, right? Because you're up. And here's what else is eerie. We had Amari Cooper that was out that game, our main receiver. Who's out? CeeDee Lamb. The good thing is George Pickens is better than a Michael Gallup. So you feel better with that. But you had a good Zeke. Zeke was in his young years in 2019, right? So you see how everything is correlating, G? How everything is falling into place with that? Dallas. Y'all need to blow these boys out early. Because if you keep the Jets in this game with Justin Fields, who I am not scared of, but let me go back to Justin Fields' history against Dallas, G. When he was with the Bears, he gave Dallas a lot of fits. They were in that game, really, until we got a couple turnovers. They were balling with us. Why? Because Justin Fields was running all over the place and scrambling. Remember when we played the Steelers? Who was the quarterback? Justin Fields. Did we blow them out? We won in the last seconds of the game, G. You get what I'm saying? So you don't think that they're not going to have designed runs for him? He's not a throwing quarterback. He's a running quarterback. Who do we have problems with, G? Scrambling, running quarterbacks. They know that. They're going to exploit it. Who do you think they're going to go after in space? Jack Sanborn. They got a guy. Now, it's good, G, that Braylon Allen is out, right? Because he's a physical back, but they got Breece Hall. He's a pretty good back. Dallas's defense has been great in the run, even though they've been getting 119 yards a game. I think that's skewed. They haven't had a running back that's ran over 170 yards, so we've definitely been stopping the running game, right? But what do we talk about off air, G? Justin Fields scrambling. We get after him. They got a receiver named Garrett Wilson. Oh, no. Justin Fields throws a 70-yard bomb. Garrett Wilson gets behind the defense. Touchdown. Right, G?
Yep.
Didn't we talk about that?
Yep, wide open.
This is what always happens to Dallas. So I need the coaches, G, to preach this. Dallas needs to come in like they're 0-4. Y'all need to come in desperate. Y'all need to come in like y'all haven't won a game. Because if y'all come in there thinking that y'all are naturally better than this team, you're going to lose. Okay? You're going to lose.
It kind of feels like what happened with the Bears.
It's set up to be that way. And if Dallas doesn't jump on them, because look, if you look at that game against the Bears, G, what happened? They jumped on us early, right? 7-0 because Diggs fell down on that play. They jumped on us early. And when teams jump on us early and we have to play from behind, it's always, to me, a recipe for a disaster. So if we don't get ahead, it's going to be a long day, and it could be possibly a loss. And I already said it. If Dallas loses to the New York Jets, they are not going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys need to come out and start strong on defense, get like a 3-and-out, and then either they get the ball.
We need turnovers.
Turnovers.
We need turnovers in this game. Put them in third down. They are second worst in the league. We got 32 teams. They're 31st in the league on third downs. I think they're at 30%, 30 or 31%. They are one of the worst teams on third down. So you have to put them in long down and distance because force Justin Fields to throw the ball. So you have to put him in long down and distance on third down. You have to get turnovers for him. He will throw an interception. He will. We have to get turnovers because if Dallas doesn't get turnovers and if they do well on third downs, it's going to be a long day, G. Promise you.
Yeah, and I know just from watching these first 3-4 games here, we don't get pressure on the quarterback, so that's dangerous. When he can pull it down and run. You saw Caleb Williams pulling it down, running.
Jalen Hurts.
I was saying when it comes to running ability, Fields is up right there with Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, when it comes to just being a running quarterback. So, he can a guy that can score 60, 70-yard touchdown run. You see them miss tackles, and he's gone. Next thing, just flash right before your eyes. But I think one way to combat that is on offense by running the ball. The Jets ranked number 25 in the league at rushing yards given up per game. So the Cowboys have a strength there. So this could be one of them games where you try to dominate time of possession and pound the ball a lot, and especially when you got Jaden Blue coming in there. We've seen Williams can do 20 carries a game, 25 touches a game. He needs that 100-yard game. This could definitely be.
This could be the game. This needs to be the game, G.
Yep. So. All right. Well, anything else on that?
Nah, you took that long ass pause. I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" You took that long ass pause. Hey, you took that long ass pause.
I can't find it now.
No. I mean, we good. Make sure, I'm going to just tell y'all right now, make sure, because we did this on the fly. A lot of y'all didn't know. So go out there and tell your friends, your family, all your kids, all that. We are back. So we're going to promote this because, like I said, this was on the fly. So I wasn't tripping off nobody or anything like that. So make sure you tell your peoples. Cowboys Uncensored. We're going at it, and we're definitely going to talk about this Jets game, especially if the Cowboys lose. Yeah, I'm really going to be uncensored. I'm going to be super uncensored, and I'm going to tell y'all a lot of things that y'all don't want to hear. I'm going to still tell you anyway. I'm going to tell you real things if they lose to the Jets. If they win against the Jets, I'm going to hold back. I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself. But if they lose to the Jets, them thoughts are going to come out, and I'm going to tell you why, the reason the Cowboys do this year in, year out. We talked about this, G, with every coach. Not just, this ain't no shoddy thing, right? Ain't a Garrett thing, ain't a McCarthy thing. It's bigger than that. Just so y'all know.
Yeah, one last thing I wanted to get in real quick because we didn't get a chance to talk about it. Just a little quick thought on this. The tie game. How do you feel about that? Do you think the NFL should look into no ties? When we were watching
You need to do
game,
that like college. You
I
keep
agree.
them playing
College.
until somebody
Yep.
wins
Just
the
back
damn
and forth.
game.
Yep.
You can't have a tie in football, dude.
But I will say this. I was telling my wife this. I told her this scenario on that last drive there in overtime for Green Bay. I said, they're either going to be one of two things. They're going to get a touchdown and win, or they're going to kick the field goal and tie. They're not going to go for it on fourth down here or anything. It was not fourth down territory late in overtime because the tie is better than the loss. When it comes down to scheduling and at the end of the season with playoff seeding and stuff like that, the tie factors in there is better than a loss. So, but it does seem like something that they need to at least talk about, maybe trying to get rid of that. And they don't allow that in the playoffs. There's no ties in the playoffs. So they would have to keep playing on a second overtime.
Exactly. So I don't know why you don't do it in no regular season. You need to do it like college. Hey, I know because the players be complaining they don't want to keep playing. I get it because I don't play NFL football. And after they're like, we played too long. We getting beat up and I want to rest my body. I totally get it and I understand from that perspective, from the player's perspective, right? I get that. But at the end of the day, that tie will come back and haunt you.
Yeah. That was just crazy because I've never seen the Cowboys tie in my lifetime, and that was the first one I ever saw.
It felt like it would be a tie. I thought it was going to be a tie they're going to win because they took it right down the field. I don't know. The grace of God that they didn't score a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
The grace of God that they didn't touchdown, right? Because they had did that, I'd have been so mad. But, I'm going to just say Dallas, I don't know. Dan Quinn, I don't know. I just want to say something to you, Dan Quinn. I wish he was back.
That was the best. But see, that's the thing we were saying. We could never get it to work right together in the same season. Dan Quinn's gone. Now the offense, Dak looks the best he's ever looked. And
here we go again.
But, all right, I guess that's going to wrap it up for us for the first one back. We will see what we're going to do next week and keep you posted.
Make sure you tune in because we're going to have some clips, video, all that good stuff. You know how it is. Get familiar with it. Cowboys Uncensored coming in your face. And once again, if them Cowboys lose, it's going to be very uncensored. You ain't going to not want to miss that episode.